A very warm welcome and welcome to Music Monday. And here we are on Devon Live Chat. And joining us today is Meg. Hi, Meg.
Hi.
I want to know, actually, because the 14th of February is just around the bend. It's not that far away. It's round the corner. It's going to hit us between the eyes because of Valentine's Day. But what are you up to during that period of time?
Well, just singing, living. I mean, I'll be spending Valentine's Day with my partner. It's the first one we actually have together. So personally, I'll be doing that. But I am a part of a really, really exciting project, an exciting concert that will be streamed on Valentine's weekend, both the 13th and the 14th of February. And yeah, so that's something that will be happening. And I'm really excited about it. Yeah.
So is it just you, yourself, or is there a group of people like you've done when you've been doing fundraising?
No, so this is a group of women. So this was a group. This is the Songbirds live streaming concert group. It was created by a guy called Robert Scullin. And he created the group. Songbirds has been around for a few years, but he created an online version to help support female artists, which is hence Songbirds. So it's to support, artists, mostly classical crossover, and kind of dipping their toe in musical theatre. There's a few people like myself who are more musical theatre rather than classical, but are able to do the classical, so still kind of fit in that way. In fact, actually, I'm not the only local Devon lass that's part of the Songbirds concert. Tamsin Ball is also part of it. I'm sure every time I come on here, she always ends up getting mentioned. But yeah, so myself and Tamsin are part of the group. We've both recorded a set, sent it off. It's all been edited in. It's being uploaded onto YouTube, and it will be streamed and previewed. So it will be streamed live, as live as you can get when it's pre-recorded, over the 2 days, along with other artists from all over the world, Australia, the USA, Malta, everywhere.
So give us an insight to the actual. You mentioned the genre, but give us some idea of the songs that we're talking about that we could enjoy and listen to.
So usually it's, as I said, classical crossover. So there's been a couple of concerts in the past. There was a Celtic Songbirds where the Scottish, Irish, the Celtic Songbirds sung. And then we did a movies and musicals one back in December, which I was a part of. That was the first one I was a part of. I actually did perform that one live from the Queen's Theatre stage, which was amazing. It was such a thrill, such a rush. I absolutely loved it. So yeah, so we, as I said, it is mostly classical, but sometimes classical crossover. So that could mean even popular songs, but just sung in more of a classical way. I myself, so this concert is all love songs mostly, being Valentine's weekend. So I myself sung songs like "Can You Feel the Love Tonight" from Lion King, "Can't Help Falling in Love," Elvis Presley, classics. But then I also sung a couple of songs that are just really personal for myself. So for instance, I mean, those two songs I sung at my sister's wedding in 2019. So I wanted to make sure I put those in. There's a song that I sung that basically is like mine and my partner's love story in a song that I didn't even know existed until a few months ago. So I was like, that has to be in because I can put a story to that. So yeah, and some of them I sing classically with classical influence. Some of them I just sing normally, same with the other girls. Majority of them will sing it in a classical style, but some of them will sing it in a more modern musical theatre style, country style, whatever suits their voice and suits the song. They kind of make, cater to everyone.
I suppose when you look at it, every song has got a story, and every story has got a song somewhere along the way. And then sometimes you get somebody come up and say, "Good evening, Facebook user. Who are you? Tell us who you are. Come on." Don't be shy. If you'd like to leave any messages, you want to ask any questions, then just go to one of the pages, and we'll sort of put these up for Meg to look at. So you're talking like musical theatre and things like that. Give us a little taster of which theatre songs that you are thinking of, or what you've actually recorded.
I say musical theatre. I actually haven't sung a musical theatre song this time. I've sung a song influenced by musical theatre. So it's composed by a composer called Joey Contreras. He lives in New York, works in New York. He works very, very often with Broadway performers. And hi, Kev. And, the musical theatre world, but he produces his own songs that are kind of influenced by that music. This is a song called First Sign of Forever. It is, I have recorded it in the past and have actually posted the full song on my page as well. But it will also be performed in the Songbirds concert. And again, it's just one of those songs that I always put a musical theatre feel to it. It sounds musical theatre. As a musical theatre nerd, I love it. So I really enjoy singing it. But that's about as musical theatre as I got. I stopped myself from making it too much. I'm always the person that goes too far with MT. I made myself stop. That was as far as I was willing to let myself go.
So you're saying Songbirds, excuse the pun, but how many of you are flocking together to put this on over the 13th and the 14th?
Sorry, could you just repeat all of that? My internet went really down and I missed the whole question.
Okay. Songbirds. Okay. Now birds tend to flock together. So how big is the flock? How many singers?
I think it's like 20 something. I have 23 or 28 in my head. But it's 20 something for this weekend. There's been, it varies for each concert. I think this is a big one, which is why it's over 2 days. It's got the majority, if not all, of the Songbirds in it. I know a few people have dropped out because of personal reasons and this, that, and the other, but I'm pretty sure it's 20 something. And we each do a 30-minute set. So yeah. But we each do a 30-minute set, and then we've actually gone and done a group performance. So we've all been allocated our parts. We've sung it, recorded it, and then the lovely Wendy Carr is one of the Songbirds. She has edited it all together, edited the videos, edited the sound, everything, and is being the one that's doing all the hard work behind the scenes and publishing it. So, yeah.
And you know exactly what it's like trying to hold it together and edit things together, because the event that you put on back in the summer, when you was raising money, how difficult was that?
Yeah, that was a big challenge. I knew it would be, but it was a bigger challenge than I thought it was. So this was the music marathon, for those that don't know. This was the music marathon that I hosted as part of Jade and Cornelia's fundraising back in October. I got a few local artists from the Devon area. They joined on via StreamYard and we sung. I had like mini interviews with them and we all did it to raise money, and I was on StreamYard for 9 hours and it cut off after 8. So I was halfway through interviewing my final person and it cut off. So I had to have a whole nother separate thing just for him. I was supposed to have Jaden himself, the brand organizer, the CEO, the head behind it all. He pre-recorded some stuff, tried to send it over to me from Mexico. He'd just had a massive hurricane, so none of his Wi-Fi was working. I only got 10 minutes of his 40-minute stuff. And I was sat here, I was getting everything live, and I was like, what do I do? I was like finding videos, and it was stressful. So yeah, definitely hosting a live event is difficult. I'd do it again in a heartbeat, don't get me wrong. But I think that's why as Songbirds have done more and more concerts, they've obviously progressed and found different techniques, and the streaming on YouTube just works because it's treated as a live. So it's all edited together and it gets previewed. So you can't skip forwards. You can skip back as you can in a live video, but you can't skip forward. So you're watching it as if it is a live, which is really, really cool. So and it all gets streamed at the right time. So I'm on the 13th of February. I'm the second act. I think I'm at 3 o'clock UK time is when my set will be previewed. So yeah, I think that's when it is. So you can join in at 3 and watch myself. You can also go back to 2:30 and watch the women before me, but you wouldn't be able to skip an hour and start watching the woman at 4 o'clock at 3 o'clock, if that makes sense. So it's still treated as a live, which is really, really cool. Yeah.
That was the next question, actually, is, we know it's the 13th and the 14th, but what's the times and where's the location where it can be found?
So it's found on YouTube. I am just finding I probably should have prepared myself a little bit better. So yes, it starts London time. Oh, it starts at 3. I'm at 3:30. So it starts London time at 3 o'clock, and it will be streamed onto the Songbirds YouTube page. The easiest way to find it is to search Songbirds live streaming group on Facebook, and then they will post it on there as well. It's an open group, anyone can join, but the YouTube link will only get posted there. You can search for it as well, but it's just kind of easier to go in that way. And you also get all the updates. You can find the timetables, you know exactly who's performing when. Yeah, I think that's the easiest way to kind of find it, but it will be streamed on YouTube.
Yeah. And the other thing I was going to say is we could probably restream it onto this page here as well. But if it's going YouTube, then it's probably just as easy to go to YouTube and put that on. Maybe you could put that comment on our page, or Loki's listening. He could probably do that and then put that link in there so nobody misses out.
Definitely. It hasn't yet been uploaded. So once it's actually uploaded, ready for premiere, I should have the link to post. But as soon as it's there, I will definitely put it in the Devon Live chat world for everyone. No worries.
So is there any money being raised for any charities during this sort of mammoth performance?
Not for charities. So what we've done is, obviously Robert who's the organizer, is all about supporting artists. So what we all do is we send him all of our links. So our Facebook page, our Twitter pages, Instagram pages, LinkedIn pages if we have them, TikTok pages if we have them, and also our PayPals. So it's like a donation to the artist. We're not working, our income has been cut. And for the majority of artists, whether they're musical theatre artists, cruise ship artists, singers, actors, performers, a lot of people in this industry don't qualify or haven't ever qualified for the coronavirus grants from the government. So I know an awful lot of people who are struggling and have been hit incredibly hard because their industry doesn't count for a grant, because the contracts are so small that it just doesn't work, which is so unfortunate. So we all put our PayPal links and we all get donations for ourselves. So then, the listeners can then post and send money to the artists themselves to just kind of help them and keep some form of income for the artists, if that makes sense, which is lovely that he's kind of thinking of us when the government can't or won't. I don't know. I don't want to be too political.
I know exactly what you're saying, because I'm in the same boat, and I'll quantify it. The fact that most people in the entertainment business sit down and listening to, oh, we're in lockdown 3. We haven't come out of lockdown 1. And that is where it's at. It's not only the performers, it's the venues as well. And with some of the things what went on over like at the Big Sheep in just outside Bideford, creating that platform, that was so good. I was listening to a very big name in the music industry on Breakfast today, and he was saying how much it's damaging him and the rest of the band with the fact that they can't go out and perform. They're not worried so much about the money because they're that far up the ladder, they've got enough money anyway.
Yeah.
But when you look at bills to be paid, if you're self-employed and the little bit of money that you do get doesn't cover anything, it's not good at all. Message just coming in. Sorry, joining late as internet was down. Oh no, so proud you're part of the JFC. Oh, that's nice, isn't it, Kathy?
Oh, I love you, Kathy.
And it was her birthday the other day as well.
It was, yeah.
Happy birthday, Kathy, for the other day, even though I sent her a message anyway. That's absolutely brilliant. So just the boys, yeah. Oh, that's Kathy.
That's Kathy.
Yeah. This is just for the girls, but do they do one for the boys as well at another time, a little bit later on?
If I'm being completely honest, I'm not sure. I haven't been part of the Songbirds group for very long. As I said, my first one was only in December. But I know that they're also a part of other classical crossover communities, which do, promote both male and female artists. And they'll always promote it. As I said, Robert is so for promoting artists, not just obviously female artists, but promoting the artists that, I'm sure he'll always support men. But I genuinely don't know if Songbirds itself has male performers.
Okay.
But I know it does support other communities that do. I know that for fact. Without
putting you too much on the spot, how much do you know about him?
About Robert?
Yeah.
I know I'm pretty sure he's British who moved to America, Australia. I know he was part of the army. And we also got told this lovely story. I don't know if I'm allowed to tell it. We got told this lovely story about how he met this wonderful woman about 40 years ago. They fell in love, and then unfortunately circumstances happened and they had to end. They didn't see each other for 40 years. They found each other again, and now she's trying to get away. Obviously, when coronavirus is over, she's going to try and find a way to go to Australia to finally be with him and be reunited after 40 years, which I just think is lovely. But all I know is that, I mean, as I said, I don't know him personally. I know him on a professional level. But from what I do know, I know he is so, I keep saying it, he just loves the arts. He's all for performing. And he'll just do anything and everything just to kind of, support us all.
Now, it sounds like a story that you could put pen to paper and get someone to write the music to make a great song, or even a book about, or a film. You say he's in Australia, so probably around about now, it's still quite early in the morning. He's probably fast asleep and probably not seeing what we're doing. Whereabouts in Australia is he based?
I think Perth or Sydney. Perth? I've got those two in my head. Perth, I think. I'm pretty sure it's Perth.
Perth, Western Australia, yeah?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Do you find that the time lapse between there and here for communicating as a bit of a lull? Here, send you a message, and then you've got to pick it up and then send it back. Is there that sort of time lag in between the two, or do you find a certain time of the day where the songbirds can actually get round to talking to each other, with each other, involving the man himself?
Yeah, so obviously, you know, we all talk amongst ourselves anyway. And as I mentioned, Wendy Carr, who's been doing all the behind the scenes work, is actually Scottish herself. So she's kind of the main person who talks to Robert, and then she'll kind of liaise with us if he's, you know, unavailable. But a lot of the time he'll message on our night time. So he is pretty good at kind of not doing it when, you know, either we're all at work or he's just about to go to bed. So it's kind of at the time we all kind of start finishing, you know, normal jobs. And it kind of does work. But he in his messages, he always puts enough information that we almost don't need to kind of ask too many questions. He answers all the questions before they're asked, sort of thing, which is lovely. But yeah, he always makes sure he asks his morning, our nighttime, so that if there are questions, yes, Perth, I was right, yay. Yeah, if there are any questions, he has time to answer them.
I don't know who sent that in, but there you go. I wish some people would put their names to these things. It would be much better. But we do love you. We love each and every one of you. So this is all going to be happening. You're on the first set, are you, on the 13th?
Yes. So as I said, I'm the second one of the first day. Tamsin will be later on the 13th. I can't remember what time Tamsin is, but yes, we're both on day one on the 13th. But all of the artists are absolutely incredible. We've got a couple of duets. We've got Classical Reflection, who sung at a couple of rugby games a few years ago, the national anthem. They're twins, Naomi and Hannah, beautiful singers, absolutely love them. We've got it was Kathy. We've got as I said, you know, Wendy herself will be performing. We've got it's wonderful, you know, if you want, just kind of, even if you just have it as kind of background music for your weekend, I promise you, if you want to get in the kind of love spirit, please tune in, please support artists. We really would like some support. And as I said, even if you don't kind of pay us or donate to our money pots, then just kind of having the views and having the support is enough for us. And you know, listen to all the ladies. It might give you someone new to follow. You never know.
I think the good thing actually about YouTube is you can actually put it on your computer while you're doing other things and have that as a backdrop. Wallpaper, call it whatever you want. You can have it there. All you do is go to that YouTube channel. I think the longest I've ever seen anything on YouTube is about 2 hours. I've never seen anything quite so long, but that'd be quite good. And in fact, the more people who go along and do that, probably monetizing for adverts and things like that, that would also help everybody within the group as well.
Yeah.
So spread it around, okay? Have a look at what I put on to Devon Live chat. You can use that, copy it, share it, paste it, and put it on your own personal pages. And let's see if we can get lots of people joining in, either watching it live-ish or as and when it is. Because, you know, if you know where a certain person's going to be performing, and if it's on YouTube, then you can just scroll along and click on where it should be, because it all times itself along the bottom. So if it says you're second on and you're going to be 30 minutes in, then from the beginning, just scroll along the bottom, find 30 minutes, and there you will be. So maybe that might be a suggestion actually for them to put underneath the that video of who is on and at what time they're on, so people can actually then just scroll along and find the people that they know, and then go back and enjoy everybody else as well. So there's always people, favorites, friends close by, but it's also looking at the other people, experience the quality of what's going on. And this all happens on the 13th. In the afternoon, did you say 2:30 or 3 o'clock it starts?
Yeah, it starts at 3 o'clock on Saturday the 13th. I actually can't watch it. I'm teaching in the afternoon, so I won't actually be able to tune in until about 6:30. So I'm going to be about 3.5 hours behind. But I'm going to be watching it from the beginning. Sunday, I'm going to be having it on, supporting my ladies. You know, just doing what I can to help the other girls. So.
Okay. Let's just jump sideways because of the amount of videos that you've done before with the other girls. You know, the group that when you were doing the old sort of Andrew Sisters style.
Yeah.
Have you been doing any more of those recently?
Yes. So myself, Tara, and Tamsin, as you mentioned, did Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy. I can never say it first time. We did that back in May for VE Day. We also did a Christmas mashup that got released on Christmas Day. If you don't want to watch it now, then that's fine. We're in February. Christmas is gone. But we did that. Myself and Tamsin did one in June. Tamsin and Taya did one in May, June time as well. I've done one with some friends from uni. I did another Christmas one with my friend Sean from uni. I've done my own personal ones. I haven't done as many since around October as I would have liked to have done. But I have got a couple in the bag, in the pipeline that I'm just kind of slowly going to put out there. So I do have some more ready and waiting to go, but just waiting for the right time.
That's it. It's always got to be at the right time. And you also got to basically like a tap just dripping just to make sure that people know who you are, just a reminder and everything else. And all those videos that you're talking about, they can all be found on YouTube, or maybe you could post them onto the pages here, and then people can then go along and enjoy. I'm just checking to see if we've got any more comments to talk about. No, not at the moment, which is quite good. So what is in the horizon? What's on the horizon then for Meg? You know, you were going to be talking about doing another fundraiser. Is one of those going to be coming along shortly as Kathy's listening?
Yes, we are in talks to do one around Easter time at the earliest, maybe summertime. That will be out in the open. That will be in real life. That won't be an online event. We are just kind of finalizing everything before we announce it. We are, working as a team, kind of bringing it all together. And we're also trying to make sure that it's obviously, COVID safe. So we've got a lot to kind of pick through before we can kind of fully announce it. But there is a big JCF event planned, hopefully, in the near future, either around Easter time to summertime, between that kind of timeline. That will be outside in the open once we've finalized everything. So yeah, super exciting.
Yeah, I would have thought there's quite a few acts like who joined in last time would probably be going, oh, I'd like to do that again, because the setup was really, really good, and no doubt there's a lot of other people who would probably like to get involved. Because did you have anybody come up to you after and say, oh, I wish I got involved in that last one?
Yeah, I had a few people kind of message going, oh, if you are doing another one, I'd really like to get involved. Obviously, again, I don't want to do it too close to the October one because I don't want to bombard people, but also kind of, it's about picking your time, isn't it? But no, this event in Easter summertime will actually be, again, that's a thing we're thinking of. Will there be live music? If there is, like, what's the logistics of it? Is that technically allowed with COVID and everything? So we are really kind of talking about it, trying to figure out exactly what we can do. But JCF is just kind of getting a lot of exciting things at the minute. We all had a team meeting a couple of weeks ago, the first one in a year, and it's just, yeah, we're all really excited.
Just for anybody who's just like tuned in, we've sort of diversed just a little bit because fundraising and doing online streaming isn't a thing that can be sorted out at a drop of a hat. It takes a lot of planning and months and months of planning before the event can actually be mentioned and then that's when the work starts again, making sure that everything is right. Pieces of paper with names, pieces
flying everywhere.
names, and how many times did you have a problem with the internet falling over with somebody, and then you had to then go and just basically try and work it out as it was going on. Bit of ad-libbing here, there, and everywhere, not to mention an agency of the same name. There I was watching on thinking, good girl, well done.
Yeah, it was tough. Yeah, the first performer of the day, Lovely Jack, unfortunately had major internet issues to the point where he wasn't even able to message me to say I'm having issues. So I'm like, it's coming up to his time, he hasn't tuned in. I'm like, where are you? Someone help me. I've got an hour until someone comes in. What do I do? And I have to be honest, Kev Green absolutely just saved my butt that day. He came in half an hour early, did an improv set on his own, and then at 12 o'clock, he started his normal set as planned with Sasha. He honestly just, because by that point, I'd been going since 10 o'clock. So I'd been going since 10. Jack was obviously supposed to tune in at 11, so I'd already done an hour. That didn't happen. I'm still streaming. I'm still posting. I'm still talking. I'm messaging the group at the same time. When a video is being performed, I'm muting myself. I'm turning around to my partner. I'm going, what is going on? Everything's going wrong. And it's just, but that's the rush of it. And it really reminded me when I kind of calmed down and got back into the swing of things, I just kind of sat back and I went, this is just like a show. Just the rush, like something goes wrong, someone's not where they're supposed to be, and just it was I sat back and I went, this is why I do what I do. I think it's that was how I managed to cope so well, is because I've done this for so long, obviously differently, but having to think on the spot, having to make up lines, having to just kind of get on with it almost, was just, I think it was almost training for that moment. But yeah, as I said, Kev, thank you. I know you're watching. Thank you so much.
It was good. It was very, very professional. And that is the thing about what you do. You're doing things on a shoestring professionally. And that's really what it's all about. Now, let's just finish off. Let's just go back to what this is all about. Okay, yeah. Valentine's special with all you girls. Just tell everybody, nice big sort of how it is, where it is, what they can do, who's involved. Let's just do a resume in your words. What can they expect?
So the Songbirds live streaming concert group, you can find them on Facebook, has about roughly 25 performers from all over the world. We have girls from America, Malta, Australia, Ireland, Scotland, England, everywhere. And we're all coming together. We've all pre-recorded a set. And it will be premiered on YouTube on the 13th and the 14th of February. So this weekend, this Saturday and Sunday from 3 o'clock on Saturday. And you can expect some classic love songs. You can expect some new love songs, some ones you may not have heard of, some ones you haven't heard since you were a little child, and that bring up memories for you. And I thoroughly, thoroughly hope people tune in. There will be donation links and PayPal links for all of the artists. If you wish to make a donation to their money pot, obviously the artists, artists at the minute aren't getting a lot, if any, funding from the government at the minute, unfortunately. So, which is why we all do the Songbirds concert. We want to help raise money for artists that are struggling at the minute. So please, please, please tune in. I myself will be performing at 3 o'clock on Saturday the 13th, and Tamsin Ball, the lovely, lovely Tamsin Ball, will be performing at 7:30. So her set will be streamed at 7:30. My set will be streamed at 3:30. And yeah, please tune in and support. Big loves.
It's basically a global event, which has got local people involved, which the young lady here is one of them. So, you know, that's the way to look at it. You know, you want to go global, you can go global. They're going to be there. They're going to be entertaining you. You've heard what to do, how to do it. Meg, thanks for joining us. It's been
Thank you for having me.
You're more than welcome. And thank you very much indeed for you for taking time to listening to this right now, live or on catch up. Till the next time, this has been Devon Live Chat.